Hi guys, welcome to another video tutorial with me, Clarice. In this video, we are going to be doing loose pansy style flowers, kind of like this over here, and we are teaming that up with metallics. So I'm going to keep this simple for the sake of keeping this beginner friendly and friendly for pretty much people of all levels. So we are just going to be using one color for the flower, our metallic, most likely the bronze or the champagne, not quite sure. And then for these filler flowers, which I've done so many in so many different videos already, we'll be using a yellow with a little bit of orange, and then obviously like a nice olive green for our leaves. Okay, so if you are new to my channel and you like watercolor videos, DIY cards, and all that good stuff, please hit the like button and subscribe button, as I have hundreds of videos on here to inspire you. And then there's a new video that comes out on a weekly basis as well. So really quickly about my supplies, I'm using my Princeton Velvet Touch number 4 and then the Princeton Neptune number 6. We are making this a postcard, and so that's why we have the Watercolor Strathmore postcards. I've got a palette handy, and then for metallics, we're using KMS Metallics. I absolutely love her metallics. They're so they're so potent. It's almost like using gold leaf. And then finally for colors, we're using White Nights. All right, so let's begin. I've got this nice turquoise-ish sort of color that we're going to be using for our flowers, which is right here. Before I actually start painting the flower or the petals, we're going to add some water to our... Let's add it to champagne, because I think the light goldish champagne will go very well with our Prussian blue. I think this is a Prussian blue. And we are going to use the number 6 to get our nice blue. And then we'll use the 4 to get our gold. Okay, so here we go. So all I'm going to be doing is to get that nice flared out petal, we're going to hold the brush sideways and then press down to create our flower. Okay, so something like this. And then if you want to introduce a third brush, and this is mainly so that you don't have to keep washing your brush. So I'm just going to get a darker version of this color, and we're dropping that in right in the center. Maybe a little bit on the outskirts of these petals. Pull it down. There we go. Same brush, I'm going to do another petal on the opposite side. And literally you're just freestyling, or yeah, freestyling your petal, really. Not really aiming to get the exact same measurements as the first petal. You're just looking to drop in that layer of color and then drop in additional color on the outskirts of the petal just to get that nice blend. Feel free to move your sheet around and watch the color just kind of seep and blend in. Now we're going in with our metallics, and so by now the metallics is fairly activated. Not spending too much time there, and we're just going to lightly touch one area and press down and create the same exact sort of petal, keeping it consistent, pushing all the color downward, well, the metallics downwards, that is. And we want more of a blend and a bleed, so I'm dropping in more of that hue happening right in the center, and just watch the metallic blend in with the color, or the color blend in with the metallic rather. It's just beautiful. Now this is a lighter version, or a lighter metallic, so I'm going to actually switch it to bronze, because the bronze would be a more stark result. Just drop that in. There we go. And I'm going to add some of that bronze over here on this side. and we're doing this while everything is still damp. This is where you get those nice, beautiful bleeds and blends when things are still damp. Now at this point, our flower is pretty much done. But if you're seeing color seep into areas where you don't want it to be seeping in, all you do is take your brush, dab it on your paper towel, and you can swipe off color. Just make sure you don't have, or if you do have color and it's showing up in the petals, that you are intending for that to happen. Otherwise, you will get something like this versus something like this. So now keep that in mind. I'm going to take some of this and just kind of like blend it in, because I would like some of this to sort of blend into my petal. Give me some nice texture. So I'm just using the tip of my brush to sort of lightly bring it down. And remember, the pansies do have lines like this within the petal. So there you go. We've got some beautiful texture happening. You can do the same thing on this side using the tip of your number 4, just lightly graze from the center going out to the edges. You're also getting a beautiful blend of the metallic within the blue as well. And yeah, this is just the nature of watercolor. This is what makes it so therapeutic and fun to do. Taking away all the stress factors of things, because this is a loose style of painting and we are not looking for we're not looking for it to look like a photograph. Just a fun loose rendition of a flower. Okay, so we're going to do a couple more of this. I'm going to zoom by this next one, and then yeah, so here we go again. So this is the one I'm using to get more of the darker hue. This is the one I'm using for my metallics. And then the number 6 is what I'm using to get a nice lay of color. Feel free to switch the color and maybe get, I don't know, get like a little bit of a purpley hue in there if you want. So I just dipped it in some purple, and now I got like this indigo sort of color happening, and I'm doing the same thing. Now I'm going to get some dark hue and drop that into the center. Maybe even do a stroke or two within the flower. There we go. Now we're switching to our metallic. And I'm touching just one side of that, getting more metallics, because I want this to be such a nice striking rendition of a petal. And that's why I'm getting a lot more color. There we go. Beautiful. Love that. I'm leaving that one open-ended just to give that nice watercolor feel to it. There we go. So you can see how it's kind of bleeding in there, and I love that. There we go. So getting more of the darker tone, dropping that in. And just like we did with the previous one, if you want to lightly graze, bringing, creating some texture and then also pulling the color down to the center, you can. And it doesn't have to be for the whole petal. It could just be for a little bit of the petal. Okay, and that is it, guys. So this is how I created this flower right here. Okay, so we're now going to move on to doing a little bit of the yellow flowers, just so you guys know how to do that. So for that one, we're going to be using the number 4. So I'm getting, make sure your brush is clean, otherwise you're going to get a green, which is what I'm getting here. So making sure it's clean. I'm just getting a very loose, not loose, loose is not the word, a very watered down version of yellow. And we're just going to add little dabs of color, pretending like you're quickly painting a 5-petal flower, for instance, okay? I've done tons of videos on this. I'm going to link some below. Feel free to check that out. If this is not making sense to you, if you're new. So I'm very quickly adding these little blobs of color. And then we're going in to get a little bit of the orange. And I'm going to drop that into my flowers. And then once that is done, I'm washing off most of my brush, and we are just doing plain watery flowers, but kind of pulling the color from our lemon and orange flowers that we have. Okay, certain areas that are not blending out as well, just go in and kind of move it along, help it along, and you should be fine. So that's the flowers. Now we're getting the green. Once again, I'm using my number 4, nice fine pointed tip. I am lightly grazing to get a nice thin stem. And that's how we connect and create our stems. We want to create like little leaves, so I'm just going to extend some more and create little leaves. And that's all there is to it, guys. A fun and easy, loose rendition of fancy metallic infused pansies, or pansy style flowers, really, because I can't wholly say that these are exactly pansies, but they're definitely influenced by it. Okay, and that's it. And these are your filler flowers to go with it. And this is what we have. I'm going to do a couple more, but this is the idea. Look at that. Look how pretty this is. So once again, if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button. And I would love to see your work. So please do tag me on social media, whether you're on Instagram or feel free to post your work on the Facebook group. I would love to see it there. And it would be a great encouragement for others as well. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll chat soon. Bye.